Massachusetts State Police arrested a woman who is suffering from stage 4 ovarian cancer after she failed to renew the license for her dog. She had to pay $5 in order to renew the license, but she failed to do so, I don't know, because she's extremely sick and is going through chemotherapy treatments. Now, when you go through chemotherapy, your immune system is extremely, extremely bad. It's very low, and as a result, you can get sick very easily. So people who are going through chemotherapy are advised to stay home so they don't get sick. Well, that was the reason why she didn't go and renew the dog license right away. As a result, in the bureaucracy in Massachusetts, they decided to send out a warrant for her arrest for refusing to renew this license. Then she had to show up to court. She didn't show up to court, and as a result of failing to do so, she was arrested.
So there's a couple of frustrating parts to the story, other than the obvious part, which is that she got arrested for a $5 fine, right? Is that she actually did pay the fine before she was arrested.
She did.
But they're like, sorry, we already issued the warrant, haha.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, have a process where you can retract a warrant if someone pays the fine. Is that too hard? Is that too unreasonable to ask?
So her name is Musser, and she apparently paid the license fee. And the reason why they could not take the warrant back is because as soon as they send out a warrant, it's out.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's what they claim, right?
I know. It's already out. Okay, then why don't you send something else out saying, don't arrest her?
Yeah, here's what should never happen under any circumstance. There should never be a warrant out for someone's arrest, or there should never be a warrant out for someone's arrest if she had to appear in court for something as frivolous and stupid as renewing a dog's license. Under no circumstance. I don't care. I know. If you're told that you need to appear in front of a judge, you need to appear in front of a judge. But let's say you're an irresponsible dog owner. Let's take the whole cancer part out of it. Let's take the sickness out of it. Let's say you're an irresponsible dog owner and you didn't pay the $5, you didn't get the license renewed. Who gives a shit? Why do you need to appear in front of a freaking judge? I mean, don't we have limited resources? Aren't states desperate for revenue, so they go around handing out tickets for bullshit offenses? And then we waste our resources on having a sick woman go in front of a judge. Get the fuck out of here. It drives me crazy. It really does.
Okay, so the AK-47 in the house. All right, if you're worried about resources, Anna said, the court time's going to cost so much more than the $5 fine. It's ridiculous. Now look, it doesn't mean that we say, okay, well then nobody pays it and they're all outrageous criminals and we let them get away with it. Can you imagine? No, you can take other actions. You can say, hey, look, it's a civil penalty, and what you're doing is, we'll then maybe stop your payments, right?
Yeah.
From your job, or get money that way, or will ruin your credit. That's the most common thing you do. If you don't pay your credit card, right, the state can do the same thing. And it go through an agency and report it. There's like a million options other than let's go arrest people for a $5 fine.
Exactly. I feel like they had the knee-jerk reaction. They took it too far. And of course, they're saying, oh, well, we contacted her several times. Whatever. She's going through chemotherapy treatments. The last thing you're thinking about is renewing your dog's $5 license, okay?
And they're going to say, well, we didn't know she was going through chemo treatments. But some percentage of people don't show up because they're sick. And if you don't think about it and you don't put human judgment, then you're going to have issues like this. And that's the last piece of this puzzle here. At every stage here, somebody said to her, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And that's just not true. It's a lie.
Because they're lazy.
Okay, they're lazy.
And they just want, it's zero tolerance. They just want to follow the policies that are there. They don't want to use human judgment. They don't want to be empathetic. And it's sick and it's disgusting. Now, she got arrested and she was thrown in jail for 4.5 hours with her immune system the way that it is, right? So this is what she says. I was literally barefoot in a cement cell for 1.5 hours. So apparently they gave her some shoes or something because she was there for an additional 3 hours. They gave me a blanket that may have been clean, but I didn't know who used it, okay? There was a mattress, but it had some stuff on it, so I didn't want to sit on it. And the glass wall had these finger smears, and it looked like someone spit on the window and it dried there. Look, the only reason why I'm bringing this stuff up is, again, she's sick. She's going through chemotherapy treatments. Have a little bit of dignity and be a human and help her out.
So to that point, if it wasn't outrageous enough already that she had already paid the fine, she had also gone to answer the warrant that was out for her. She went and sat there for several hours, and she told the clerk, she's like, look, I'm going through chemo, I have cancer. My doctor told me I'm going to pick up germs and I shouldn't be here. They're like, yeah, take a seat, lady, take a seat, okay? And she sat there for all those hours, and then finally she's like, my doctor told me I shouldn't be here. I gotta go. I'm gonna pick something up here, right? So she had done everything that she was required to do, and they went and arrested her in the middle of her house, brought her to this thing, yada, yada. Look, here's what they could have done. First, clerk could have been like, oh my God, you've got really bad cancer. It's obvious, I can tell. Mm-hmm. You know what? Let me ask the person in front of the line if I could move you to the front of the line. My guess is they're gonna say yes, you know? Mm-hmm. That's a human thing to do, but you'd have to get up off your fat ass for a second, right? The cop who showed up could have been like, whoa, oh my God, it's a $5 penalty, and you're obviously really sick. Let me call into headquarters and see if I can undo this. The person who said, no, I'm sorry, I couldn't reverse your warrant. Now let's say there was a warrant out for a cop killer and everybody's looking for him, and it turns out you got the wrong guy. You don't want the cops to go down and get the wrong guy. That could be a lot of trouble. Could you reverse that warrant? Of course you could. You'd have to make a call though. So could you reverse a warrant on a $5 dog fine? Of course you could. But you'd have to get up off your fat ass. Or actually you could even sit on your fat ass and make that call. But God forbid you should make that call.